For many seniors over the age of 70, joint pain has become an accepted part of daily life, something to be expected as the years go by and the body supposedly wears down with age. Yet what if much of that stiffness, swelling, and discomfort wasn't just the result of aging joints or deteriorating cartilage, but was being actively triggered and worsened every single day by something as seemingly harmless as the drink they have at breakfast? Most people wouldn't suspect that the beverage they've trusted for decades might actually be sabotaging their mobility and accelerating their joint damage. But the truth is far more alarming than we've been led to believe. It turns out that one of the most commonly consumed drinks among seniors, orange juice, is quietly contributing to chronic joint inflammation, worsening arthritis, and heightening the risk of other inflammatory diseases that rob older adults of their independence and comfort. While orange juice is often marketed as a healthy, vitamin-packed beverage rich in vitamin C and antioxidants, it's also a concentrated source of fructose, a type of sugar that has been increasingly linked in recent studies to increased uric acid levels and systemic inflammation. When seniors drink orange juice regularly, particularly the store-bought versions that are pasteurized and stripped of their natural fiber, they're flooding their system with a rapid spike of sugar that triggers a cascade of responses in the body, including the release of inflammatory cytokines that attack joint tissue. Over time, this steady stream of inflammation erodes the cartilage that cushions bones, worsens osteoarthritis symptoms, and intensifies pain during movement. What's more troubling is that orange juice is just the beginning. Many other fruit juices, sugary teas, soft drinks, flavored waters, and even some diet sodas contain compounds that act as stealthy saboteurs inside the body, quietly inflaming the synovial membranes that line the joints and disrupting the natural healing cycles that are essential for recovery and flexibility. Seniors are particularly vulnerable to this effect because their digestive efficiency, liver function, and insulin sensitivity are all lower than in younger people, meaning sugar and inflammatory additives stay in the bloodstream longer, wreaking more havoc and contributing to a chronic state of low-grade inflammation that slowly chips away at the body's resilience. Even seemingly innocent choices like sweetened almond milk or that occasional glass of lemonade during a hot afternoon can be part of a larger pattern of dietary inflammation that accumulates like rust in the joints. Another overlooked factor is that many of these drinks also displace healthier beverages, like plain filtered water, bone broth, or herbal teas, that actively support joint health by hydrating connective tissue, delivering anti-inflammatory nutrients, and flushing out metabolic waste that builds up in inflamed tissues. Dehydration itself is a key driver of joint stiffness and muscle cramping. Yet when seniors quench their thirst with sugary drinks rather than water, they unknowingly contribute to the very problem they're trying to soothe. It's a vicious cycle. Joint pain reduces movement. Less movement reduces circulation and detoxification, and poor beverage choices further inflame the system. Many seniors try to fix the issue with painkillers, over-the-counter creams, or glucosamine supplements. But none of these can fully undo the damage caused by drinking inflammatory beverages day after day. And when joint pain becomes severe enough, it can prevent people from exercising, going outside, maintaining their independence, and even sleeping properly, leading to a cascading decline in physical and mental health. The real tragedy is that so much of this suffering is preventable simply by changing what goes into the glass each day. Understanding how one seemingly harmless drink can influence inflammation, joint degradation, and long-term mobility is the first step toward reclaiming a life free from stiffness, swelling, and chronic pain. And once seniors know the truth about what's really happening inside their bodies, they can begin to make small but powerful changes that restore comfort, flexibility, and energy without needing surgery, injections, or a suitcase full of pills. What makes the situation even more concerning is that most seniors grew up during a time when processed fruit juices were marketed as a symbol of health, abundance, and good parenting. For decades, advertisements emphasize the importance of a daily glass of orange juice at breakfast to maintain strong immunity and high energy levels. That messaging stuck, and many older adults still hold a deep-rooted belief that drinking juice is a cornerstone of healthy aging. But nutritional science has advanced significantly since the 1950s, and we now understand that the lack of fiber in processed fruit juices causes a dangerous metabolic spike that disrupts blood sugar stability and fans the flames of chronic inflammation. Without fiber to slow the absorption of fructose, the liver is forced to metabolize the sugar rapidly, converting it into fat and uric acid, both of which contribute to joint damage over time. Elevated uric acid levels, in particular, are a well-established trigger for gout, a painful form of arthritis that disproportionately affects older adults and frequently begins with a sudden burning pain in the big toe or foot. But even when gout isn't present, the background level of uric acid and systemic inflammation can contribute to persistent low-level joint pain that worsens with weather changes, activity, or poor sleep. What's more, sugar-laden beverages weaken the integrity of gut health over time, killing off beneficial bacteria and allowing harmful microbes to flourish. This gut imbalance, or dysbiosis, further fuels the body's inflammatory response, setting off a chain reaction where gut toxins, called lipopolysaccharides, leak into the bloodstream and signal the immune system to remain in a constant state of alert. For seniors already dealing with age-related immune decline and reduced digestive efficiency, this is a perfect storm for systemic pain and discomfort. And if we look even deeper into the data, we find that older adults who consume high-fructose beverages regularly are also at an increased risk for developing metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions that includes abdominal fat, high blood pressure, insulin resistance, and, yes, joint pain. These conditions not only increase the risk of heart disease and stroke, but they also place an enormous strain on the joints, particularly the knees, hips, and lower back. The excess weight and chronic inflammation wear down cartilage, thicken joint linings, and reduce the production of synovial fluid, making movement more painful and rest less restorative. Meanwhile, artificial sweeteners, commonly used in sugar-free or diet drinks targeted toward diabetics or weight-conscious seniors, are no better. Some studies suggest they too may disrupt gut flora, contribute to insulin resistance, and interfere with normal appetite regulation, leading to overeating and further strain on already compromised joints. The irony is that while these beverages are marketed as a healthy alternative, they're doing the same damage, just through a different route. It's not just a matter of calories or sugar content. It's about the overall inflammatory load and how these substances are interacting with the body's aging systems. Seniors are also more likely to be taking medications for conditions like arthritis, high blood pressure, or diabetes, many of which come with their own side effects that can be exacerbated by poor hydration or nutrient depletion caused by sugary or acidic beverages. For example, certain blood pressure medications and diuretics flush potassium and magnesium from the body, minerals essential for muscle relaxation and nerve function. Yet few seniors realize that their orange juice habit could be interfering with mineral absorption and worsening muscle cramps and joint stiffness. The reality is sobering. The very drink seniors may reach for in an attempt to be healthy might be the underlying reason their knees hurt when they walk, their fingers ache when they grip a pen, or their hips feel sore when they get out of bed. It's time for a fundamental shift in how we view senior hydration and nutrition, and it starts by acknowledging the silent role that certain beverages play in long-term joint deterioration. By removing these inflammatory drinks from the daily routine and replacing them with options that truly support aging joints, seniors can experience a noticeable reduction in pain, improved range of motion, and a renewed sense of control over their bodies. But understanding which drinks to avoid is only half the equation. Knowing what to drink instead is equally important, And the next part of this life-changing conversation will reveal just that. To begin replacing these harmful beverages, the most critical step is to understand how hydration affects joint health on a cellular level. Our joints rely on a substance called synovial fluid to stay lubricated, reduce friction, and absorb shock as we move throughout the day. As we age, the body's ability to maintain optimal hydration decreases, and with it, the production of synovial fluid also declines. When seniors consume drinks high in sugar, phosphoric acid, or artificial chemicals, they're not just dehydrating themselves. They're actively interfering with the body's ability to maintain this precious fluid. Even worse, the mild dehydration that results from relying on these beverages instead of water is often not recognized until it has already taken a toll. The early signs are subtle: stiff joints in the morning, a dull ache in the knees or back after walking a short distance, or even difficulty gripping utensils while eating. These discomforts are often blamed on aging itself or past injuries. But the truth is that hydration plays a pivotal and overlooked role in every one of these symptoms. Proper hydration, particularly with clean, mineral-rich water, helps flush inflammatory toxins from the body, supports kidney function, and aids in the delivery of nutrients to cartilage and joint tissue. Water enriched with electrolytes like magnesium and potassium can have an even more beneficial effect, helping to soothe muscle tension, regulate nerve function, and counteract the depleting effects of medications and poor dietary choices. Herbal teas are another excellent alternative. Chamomile, ginger, turmeric, and nettle teas all possess natural anti-inflammatory properties and can help reduce joint swelling and stiffness without the sugar overload of juice or soda. These teas are also gentle on the digestive system, promote relaxation, and contribute to a more alkaline environment in the body, which many health experts believe supports better aging outcomes. One of the most underestimated drinks for joint recovery is bone broth. Rich in collagen, gelatin, glucosamine, and chondroitin, key components of healthy cartilage and joint fluid, bone broth offers not only hydration, but also deep nourishment for the very structures that cushion and stabilize our joints. Seniors who make bone broth a regular part of their diet often report less joint pain, improved skin elasticity, and better digestion, all of which contribute to a greater sense of overall well-being. Even infused water, simple water with slices of cucumber, lemon, mint, or berries, can make hydration more appealing while delivering trace vitamins and antioxidants that help fight oxidative stress and inflammation. Many older adults report that switching to infused water helped them reduce cravings for sugary drinks while still enjoying flavor and refreshment. It's also important to highlight the danger of relying on sports drinks or electrolyte beverages marketed to active adults. These often contain high levels of sodium, preservatives, food coloring, and even caffeine, all of which can exacerbate dehydration and joint pain if not balanced properly. Seniors should be especially cautious with these, as their kidneys may no longer be functioning at full efficiency, making it harder to process these substances. Additionally, many of these beverages contain hidden sweeteners that can have a long-term impact on insulin levels and bone health. There's a growing body of research linking excessive sugar intake to reduced bone density and increased risk of osteoarthritis. As sugar creates an acidic environment in the body, it can also trigger leaching of calcium from the bones, further weakening the entire skeletal system. So, what begins as joint pain might actually be a systemic issue fueled by poor beverage choices that slowly undermine the body's ability to heal, maintain strength, and stay mobile. And when mobility is reduced, everything from cardiovascular health to cognitive function starts to decline. That's why it's so important not to overlook the role that these beverages play in a senior's daily life. Every sip is either a step toward healing or a step toward further damage. And when you compound the effects of a poor beverage habit over months or years, it becomes clear that the solution to chronic joint pain may be far simpler and more accessible than we've been led to believe. The power to reverse this damage starts with awareness, then with action. It's not about extreme diets or expensive supplements. It's about making smarter, kinder choices for your body every single day, starting with what you drink. And once you start experiencing the benefits of improved hydration and reduced inflammation, the positive feedback loop is almost immediate. Less pain means more movement. More movement means better circulation and flexibility, and better flexibility means a return to the freedom of doing the activities you love without dreading the discomfort that usually follows. Seniors who make this shift often report clearer thinking, more restful sleep, and even reduced reliance on pain medication. In the next and final part of this important message, we'll reveal how to spot hidden sources of inflammatory beverages in your everyday life, the critical morning mistake most seniors make without realizing it, and how to build a simple, sustainable hydration habit that supports your joints, your energy, and your independence for years to come. One of the most alarming things about the relationship between beverages and joint health is how stealthily harmful drinks creep into daily life without notice. For many seniors, what begins as a harmless daily indulgence, a can of soda with lunch, a flavored iced tea with dinner, or a glass of fruit juice in the morning, gradually becomes a habit. The problem is that these seemingly innocent choices are often filled with pro-inflammatory compounds like refined sugars, artificial sweeteners, food dyes, and excessive caffeine, all of which contribute to a constant, low-level inflammatory state in the body. What's worse, many older adults are unaware that even drinks labeled as healthy, natural, or vitamin-enhanced can be equally damaging. For example, orange juice, while rich in vitamin C, contains an extremely high amount of natural sugar in just one glass, enough to spike blood glucose, trigger an insulin response, and set off a cascade of inflammation that attacks the joints, particularly in those already suffering from arthritis or mobility issues. Similarly, diet sodas are often marketed as a safer alternative, but research increasingly shows that the artificial sweeteners they contain can alter gut microbiota in negative ways, leading to metabolic disruption and increased joint pain over time. Seniors must be vigilant about hidden ingredients, especially when their metabolism is no longer as robust as it was in youth. After age 70, the body's natural repair mechanisms slow, meaning any damage from chronic inflammation takes longer to resolve and becomes more pronounced. This is why so many seniors begin to feel an accumulation of discomfort, stiffness, and soreness that seems to come from nowhere. In truth, it's often a result of these compounding dietary choices made over months and years, especially in the form of what we drink without even thinking. Making matters more complicated is that many seniors continue to start their mornings with one of the most deceptively inflammatory beverages of all, store-bought coffee creamers. These creamers, often added to morning coffee, are packed with hydrogenated oils, corn syrup solids, artificial flavorings, and preservatives. While they add flavor and richness, they also introduce trans fats and sugars that silently aggravate joint inflammation and disrupt hormonal balance. Over time, this seemingly innocent addition to your morning ritual could be one of the hidden drivers behind persistent joint pain, fatigue, and stiffness upon waking. And when pain is part of your morning routine, it sets the tone for the rest of the day, discouraging activity, limiting movement, and slowly reducing the amount of daily exercise your body needs to keep joints healthy and flexible. This lack of movement further exacerbates stiffness and inflammation, creating a vicious cycle that can be incredibly difficult to break without addressing the root cause. And yet, when seniors do make even a small change, like switching to black coffee, herbal tea, or infused water in the morning, the shift in how their joints feel can be almost immediate. Many report waking up with less stiffness, being able to go for longer walks, or even returning to activities they had once given up due to joint discomfort. This improvement isn't just in the joints. The digestive system starts functioning better, sleep quality improves, mood becomes more stable, and energy returns, all stemming from one seemingly minor adjustment. Removing the harmful drinks that were quietly damaging the body from the inside out. The empowering truth is that your body, even after 70, is still capable of regeneration and healing. Cartilage may not regenerate as easily as when you were younger, but the inflammation that contributes to its breakdown can absolutely be reduced. And when inflammation goes down, pain subsides, mobility improves, and your quality of life can rise dramatically. Seniors who hydrate properly, eliminate inflammatory beverages, and replace them with healing alternatives often experience fewer flare-ups of arthritis, reduced need for over-the-counter painkillers, and even improved balance and posture. It's not a miracle, it's biology responding to better inputs. Even better, when hydration is combined with light stretching, joint-supportive supplements like turmeric or omega-3s, and consistent movement, the benefits multiply quickly. Many doctors and physiotherapists now emphasize that addressing hydration and dietary triggers is just as important as physical therapy when it comes to managing chronic joint pain in older adults. And while giving up a favorite drink might feel like a loss at first, especially when it's tied to habit or comfort, the trade-off is more than worth it. Imagine waking up and stepping out of bed without that first sharp pain in your knees. Picture yourself being able to garden, dance, or simply walk your dog without constantly rubbing your joints or worrying if you'll pay for it the next day. These aren't pipe dreams. They're real outcomes reported by countless seniors who made the commitment to change what they drink, and in doing so, changed how they live. So what should your next step be? Take a moment today to evaluate the drinks in your fridge and your pantry. Read the labels. Look for sugar content, artificial additives, preservatives, and anything you can't pronounce. If you see ingredients like high fructose corn syrup, aspartame, sucralose, food dyes, or hydrogenated oils, consider finding a replacement. Reach for water, herbal teas, bone broth, or homemade fruit-infused drinks instead. Even starting with one small swap a day, like replacing your soda at lunch with cucumber mint water, can be the beginning of a powerful transformation. Over time, your taste buds will adapt, your cravings will change, and your joints will thank you for it every single day. If this message resonated with you and you want more tips, facts, and strategies to live pain-free and energized after 60, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, Healthful Living 60+, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. We release new videos weekly on topics that matter most to your health and independence. And remember, small changes in what you drink can lead to big changes in how you feel. Choose wisely, stay hydrated, and live well.